Okay, so this is the first ever sort of book review I've ever done. But it's going to lead into sort of a movie chat sort of thing as well. So I've just finished this, Clown in a Cornfield. Oh my god, it was bloody amazing. Now, I haven't read a book for a while, if I'm honest with you. I've been kind of like, I'm more mobile phone nowadays. So like when I'd usually read books would be when I'm on trains or if I'm waiting for an appointment or whatever, I'll be like reading a book at that point. Nowadays, probably like most of you, I sit on my phone, just play on my phone, like scrolling through Facebook or whatever. So I decided I'm going to start reading again. It's something I've been thinking about for a while. I need to start reading and sit down and concentrate, trying to avoid my screen a bit more because we're all on our screens a bit too much anyway these days. So that was my plan. So I was scrolling through like some charity shops and I found that book and I thought, you know what, that cover looks intriguing. And I read the back of it and it sounded quite good. The idea of like social media being a big part of it and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a go at this. So I sat down with it, started reading it, and I got to about chapter 7 or 8, and then it come up that there was a trailer for the movie, and I was like, I haven't finished the bloody book yet. Like, give me a second. So I did a trailer reaction video. I'll try and leave the link to that in the comments and that in the description bit. But I was quite into the book, and then suddenly you get to a certain part of the book, and then you can't put this book down. I kid you not. The second I got to this part of this book, I could not put it down. So to give you a premise of the story of this, it's about a young girl. She's moved to a town with her dad. He's the doctor, and there's a group of like youths and young people in the town that are all about the old social media sort of like likes and subscribes and all that, and they're doing like prank videos, and they're kind of like semi kind of terrorizing the town. I mean, to be honest with you, what you find they do isn't super bad. There's a couple of incidents that are a bit too bad, but basically the town have kind of like a bit sick of them. They're doing stupid pranks or upsetting a lot of the older people in the town. There's definitely a very big sort of generational divide in this town, like the teachers, because you see them in school and the teachers have kind of got an attitude about them and stuff, and there's a lot of trouble. There's like a little group of them, and it's led by a guy named Cole, who's done a few pranks and that, and a couple of them have gone quite wrong. Like he set fire to a building, and his sister died during a sort of like video they were making. So there's like a big sort of stigma about these kids and stuff. Anyway, so then we fast forward a bit, and there's going to be a party, and of course Quimby and the new girl, they're invited to the party, and it's in the middle of a cornfield, in like an old like a abandoned sort of barn thing, and they've got all the music set up and all the corn sort of surrounding this barn, so visually you can already sort of see kind of isolated sort of thing. And they have this big old party in there, and suddenly this clown shows up and starts killing people. And it's a clown that's kind of like the town mascot, because there's a sort of syrup company, and their sort of symbol is this clown called Friendo. And this clown turns up and just starts massacring people at this party. And that's the part of the book. As soon as you get to that party in this book, oh my god, you are just like, I can't put this book down. I actually, as soon as I got to the party section, I mean, I struggle with reading. I have dyslexia and stuff like that. So reading is difficult for me, way more difficult than the average person, because I have to really concentrate on what I'm reading. And it can be a struggle. So like, I sat there and I was like chapter after chapter after chapter. And luckily with this, the chapters are quite small, which is good for someone like me because it gives me a little break and stuff. But I was like pounding away at this book. I need to get through. I need to get through. I need to get through. And oh my god, it is phenomenal. To give you kind of why it was so good was we all know about the school shootings that happen like in America sometimes. We had one over here when I was younger, so that's why I think they resonate with me. One in a place called Dunblane, there's like a bad thing happened at school there, and then obviously Columbine happened in America when I was sort of like that age, so the age of sort of the kids in the school at that point, so it was kind of resonated with me how terrifying that was. I was a like fan of Marilyn Manson. He got linked to it, so obviously I was seeing more images of this sort of stuff and like paying attention to it a lot more. So school shootings do say they resonate with me a bit. Like the idea of them, it terrified me, if I'm honest with you. Kind of lucky our country has the laws that we have that kind of stop that from happening. Although my school, the kids now are doing like a, if that sort of thing scenario does happen, what would they do in their schools? So that worries me, the fact that they're learning these sort of, as well. We used to have fire drills, they now have these like intruder in the school drills where they have to get on the desk and stuff. So, and that's in this country where we have more gun control and stuff, so it shocks me. So yeah, the idea of and as I said, this scene when they get to the party, it does become like a school shooting. The idea of people just like taking people out, people trying to hide, and it is so well written that you are literally tense, like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? And there are a good couple of twists and turns in this as well. And I won't get into spoilers of this because obviously you're going to want to sit down, you're going to want to read this book as the way I did and be like, oh my god, and you find out like what's going on. And oh my, I can't describe how good this book was, and because it's like my first read for a long time, I'm so lucky. It was such a good book, and the guy's name's Adam. I think it's Caesar. Adam Caesar. He say about the way he writes. It's easy to understand, easy to follow, but it gets to you. You're oh my God, like you get tense, especially the ending in this book. I was like, oh God, what's going to happen next? Like, it wasn't scary, but it was tense. It was the tension. You got that. Oh my God, how are they going to get out of this sort of situation? What's going to happen next? Phenomenal. Great read, great writing, just a great book. And I think these are more aimed at sort of like the teen sort of horror sort of books. But I'm in my 40s, and I said I love this book, and I love the way they talk about the gender differences. Gender, idiot. The generational differences, like between like some of my age, some of my children's age. So it and a difference in technology, like how we were sort of grew up without social media as kids and all that sort of stuff, and it's become all what their life's about. And like I'm kind of in that, I suppose, lucky generation where I kind of got a bit of both, if you know what I mean. I mean, I was born 10 years earlier, I'd feel a bit differently about the social media stuff and all that, and gaming and stuff like that, than I do now, because I was in that little middle bit. I think they call it millennial. I'm kind of between Gen X and millennial. I'm kind of in the middle of that bit there, the bracket there. So I've got the best of all the worlds, really, sort of the old school stuff and the new school stuff. But yeah, I mean, and to move on to the fact that they're making a film of this. Now, have you saw in the trailer, that trailer looked bloody terrifying as well. It's really well done. The clown they use in the film isn't how I depicted it in my head from the book, but the clown in the film, if you watch the trailer, is definitely terrifying. What I'll do, I'll try and put a little picture up there of the clown from the trailer, and he looks terrifying. And I have a feeling this could be the next big thing. So like where you've got what's his name, Art the Clown has suddenly become the big new horror. Like we always had like your Freddys, your Jasons, your Michaels, your Chuckies, all that was like the iconic horror things. Lately we've seen new ones come out, like your Megan and Art the Clown, and that Thanksgiving guy. I know he's going to go on and do more films. So, and there's Heart Eyes was the new one just come out. I haven't seen that yet, but I kind of want to. I think Friendo is going to become one of those. He's the new big scary clown. The only problem with that is it's actually, I think the film's only available on Shudder, which means it's not going to get that cinematic release, which I think this film should have. And I think then it goes to more people, because like not only a niche people have Shudder. I have bought Shudder because I know this film's going to come out on it in May. I actually got myself a subscription to Shudder because this film's coming out, because I was so mad about the book I ended up getting the film thingy. I will say about Shudder, it is, I say, if you're a horror fan, you love Shudder. If you're not a horror fan, you're not going to have Shudder. And I think that's where this film's going to get impacted, sadly, because if it is only going on Shudder, it's not getting a cinematic release. From what I can see, every time I see anything about it, it always says, like, I think there might be a few screenings, but it's not going to be like Brave New World's out of the cinema, the Captain America film. It's not going to be like that. Or like Monkey was out of the cinema. It's not going to be like that, sadly. It's just, it is a shame. It is a real big shame, because I think this film would blow the doors open for a new franchise and a new horror icon. So, and I tell you, it would be very similar to Scream. It would be that sort of, like a new version of Scream almost, but aiming more at social media. That's where I can see this going. So the film from the trailer looked phenomenal. I can see exits from the film, from the trailer and the film that are actually in the book. So I know they're going to be sticking semi to the book in a lot of some of the scenes. So I can see that. I see some stuff in the trailer that isn't in the book but works well on the screen. So obviously that is a thing when you've got a book. When you're reading a book, you've always said the books are better because it's all in your head, so you make your own version of it in your thing. Like I said, I've pictured Friendo much differently in this than he is on the screen, but the screen version looks way creepier than what I pictured it in my head. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how they go from this to the film. But I'm scarily looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it, and I really hope that it does eventually get like a big time cinematic release. I mean, this guy here, look, he won, it says on the back there, he won an award, the Bram Stoker 2020 award for achievement for a young writer. So that's pretty nifty, isn't it? Like, for like a new book. So I love the bit at the bottom, look, the kids are not all right. That takes me back to things like The Offspring, you know, they had that song about that. Oh my God, the kids are not all right. Like reminds me of the sort of, it takes me back to like the Corn and the Slipknot and all that sort of stuff. Those sort of songs were like stuff like that tagline to remind me of those songs. So again, that takes me back to when the Columbine shooting happens, which is what resonates so much with me, I think. So that's, but whoever, I know, even says Clive Barker even does little things for it, like an author who knows how to make people afraid. That's Clive Barker saying that. So if he's read that and got a bit of a shiver from it, God, you know. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. It was kind of an impromptu one, and I do recommend you watch my trailer reaction to Clown in a Cornfield, and you definitely sort of watch the proper trailer, Clown in a Cornfield. And if you do like it, I recommend getting Shudder. They do like a 7-day free trial. And there's a lot of good things on Shudder. So far I've watched Deathmatch, which I might do a video on Deathmatch because I'm a big wrestling fan as well. I've watched documentaries. There's so many good documentaries on there, Shudder. There's this whole thing I'm watching at the minute. It's like a TV series of documentary, like kind of like a listing the best of. And I've been like finding out loads of films I haven't seen yet, and like a little new look at things. They've got famous sort of actors doing these. Oh, and I watched Late Night with the Devil for the first time. That was a great film. I think with a little bit of a higher budget and a cinema release, that film would have, boom, that could have, oh my God, what a great premise. It reminded me of like Ghostwatch, that sort of thing. Fantastic. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Go out and get yourself this book. There are other books. He's done sequel books to this. There's like 3 or 4 of them, I think, now. And if I'm going to go try and find them myself. I'm definitely going to look for the second one, see how that goes, because this, I think it's going to keep going with the story. I think if they do it right, if this guy Adam does it right, oh my God, I could not wait for it. I seriously can't. But yeah, definitely go out and get yourself this. You'll probably find it somewhere, anywhere now. This is probably going to go up in price now because the film's coming out. But if you can find a way, I just found it in a charity shop. It was a few quid. Obviously, someone read it, put it away. Lucky me. So, but definitely go out and find yourself a copy of this. Go to your local Waterstones. I know they've got it in Waterstones, got all the second way Waterstones, and I hadn't started reading this one yet, so I'm going to be possibly popping myself to Waterstones. I mean, this I don't know, it just says Canadian money, but it says like $11.99 Canadian money, so brand new. I'd have paid that for that. Now I know what it's about, I'm definitely going to pay that for the next ones. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoy yourselves. Get yourself a good read. Go watch the film. I'll catch you later. Bye.